Hi, everybody. Jennifer Dixon here with some awesome ladies joining me today. Merritt with the Energy Center. And joining us today is
Jennifer Eddinger
with
myiu.com.
myiu.com. And this is the weekly Thrive Yoga and Wellness Wamabaga Wednesday, the other side. So during the last 90 days of 2019, we have been getting together every Wednesday to talk about the other side of yoga, our practice, the other side of the things that we love. And so the first 7 weeks we spent talking about all the chakras. We started at the base, that Muladhara chakra, and we walked all the way up. And then last week, Merritt and I we started exploring the 5 elements. So for those of you that didn't know this, yoga has a sister study that is Ayurveda. And there's some pretty cool myths about how yoga and Ayurveda started. It was like gifts given to us humans by the sages, and you can go into that more if you want to, it doesn't matter, but they're meant to kind of go together to help ease our suffering, because that was one of the things that the deities back in that day, according to the mythology, human existence is all a suffering, which is kind of a sad way of thinking about it, but that's what yoga and Ayurveda is supposed to do to help make our lives better, right? So, and man, that kind of took a really dark turn. I apologize for that. We need some flowers and sunshine conversation.
Well, the Eastern ancient practices, yoga and Ayurvedic specifically, because that's what we're talking about today, do help mitigate that dis-ease, discomfort, help us stay well and balanced. And if our energy is balanced and strong, using these and other Eastern techniques, then the suffering is minimized.
You're right. And so how many people got to yoga because something was going on? Yeah. I found yoga because something hurt, and yoga fixed it. And then sometimes it's the other way around. How do you find yoga? You found it through Ayurveda. For me, I found Ayurveda through yoga, because I came from the physical practice, right? And then so Ayurveda is a little bit different because it deals more with what you eat, correct?
It does. It's a medical science, so it's only it's not quite the sister science of yoga. It's a separate thing. It comes from the same land, India, or the land that we call India, and it's 4,000 years old. So there's a lot of history there and a lot of science. So it's not like if you go to the ocean, you're going to balance your water element.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it.
It's a lot deeper than that,
It's
for sure.
Deeper,
I didn't mean to make it seem otherwise, other than that. Yeah, it's very, very deep. And and it's interesting to me, the more that I've read up on both yoga and Ayurveda, how the East, who's been talking about this for 4,000 years, is finally being verified by science us here in the West. And so I love the fact that you're like, no, this is science, and it's 4,000 years old. Yes. So I appreciate the correction. I didn't mean to make it sound otherwise. No. So last week we talked about the earth element. And this week we are going to be talking about the water element.
And I do want to mention that we're not necessarily going in any particular order. If we were, water would be 4.
Yeah.
So we aren't going in any particular order for no particular reason.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like you're going backwards.
Yeah.
So you started with the most physical, the earth element, and you're moving to the most subtle, the element of space, I assume.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
But water really connects everything. All the rivers flow into the ocean. They're all connected. Our water is 80%. Our bodies are 80% water. That's why so many of us are pulled by the moon, because if you think about the moon pulling the ocean, that we're 80% water, then it only makes sense that water connects everything.
Yeah.
So before we go on, do you want to give us the quick definition of Ayurveda?
Yeah, definitely. So Ayurveda is it's a holistic science. It is a complete medical system, and there are 8 branches of Ayurveda.
So like there's eight branches of yoga. Ashtanga yoga means 8
Interesting.
limbs.
Yes. So, there's psychology and regenerative medicine, or Rasayana, what we call Rasayana. And then there's internal medicine, surgery. These are all branches of Ayurveda. And throughout India, there are actually hospitals and over 150,000 Ayurvedic doctors. So it's a strong medical science.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. They can perform surgeries even.
They can, and they were performing them thousands of years ago.
That's crazy. Before anesthesia. Whew.
And you're going to actually be at the Black Friday event.
I am, yes.
In the Ayurvedic capacity.
Yes.
So what can we take advantage of on Friday with you?
Yeah, so I'll be offering Ayurvedic consults, 10 minutes, and they're by donation. And we'll be able to look at, take a quick look at your diet and lifestyle and your daily regimen, your sleep schedule, and see what small adjustments and manageable adjustments that you can make to help improve your health. Yeah.
So this Friday, November 29th, starting at 5 p.m. and originally it was going to go till 7, and then people were saying, oh no, we need more time, so then I think I've increased it till 8. We're not going to kick anybody away. Come by Thrive Yoga and Wellness, located at 7633 East Brainerd Road, and we're having what we're calling the Black Friday open house. So Jennifer Eddinger is going to be here, as well as five other healers. We've got Tracy Busby performing Reiki. We've got Jess Dewar performing fire cupping. We've got Alicia Whiteley. She's going to be doing health screening. She's a nurse practitioner in training. Monica Patel is going to be doing injury screens. She's our physical therapist. And then we've got Chattanooga Rolfing Institute leader, Eric. Remind me Eric's last name? Macklin. That's why I forgot that one. That was a hard one to say. Eric, he's awesome. He's going to be doing, he's going to be talking a little bit about Rolfing, which is a bodywork art, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then our esthetician, Sunita, will be here doing a brow bar. So it's a lot of fun. We're also going to have introduction to self-defense in the far room, which is going to be awesome. My husband and his I don't know, they do a lot of like fighting things. I'm doing it a disservice, but they're going to be back in the back teaching us some safety through the holidays. And then out front, my dad's going to be teaching how to make some CBD edibles. So there'll be some CBD edible samples here, and then you can of course buy some butters and things. And so all of these practitioners are opening up their services on a donation basis. So we encourage everybody to come out, and you can learn a little bit more about Ayurveda. Thank you for reminding me to plug that.
And the Black Friday event is a great way to also embody the 90-day challenge, because you'll have all kinds of exploration of wellness options for you that you can move into the new year with, as well as yoga, of course.
We'll have lots of sales on yoga classes, yoga packages, and of course our CBD will be on sale. And all of our clothes, like these super cool Caju Brazil leggings, those will also be on sale. So you have to come by Friday from 5 until 8 or so. We will go home at some point. But let's go back to Ayurveda. Can you tell there's like squirrels around? So we're talking this week about the element water. So let's review really fast what the 5 elements are according to Ayurveda.
Earth, water, fire, wind or air, and space. So we don't actually acknowledge wood and metal.
Okay, that's good to know, because I've always used wood because I study the Tao, but we noticed that there were variations, even in some of the Ayurvedic research I did, that wood showed up some.
There may be, but classical Ayurveda does encompass those 5 elements as sort of the
Thank you for that, because
yoga.
That's been a little confusing.
So they don't do the wood and the metal.
They do not.
They just do the earth, water, fire, wind, and space. Sometimes called ether, right?
Ether, correct.
Ether.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right. Sorry. And so the cool thing is that they all interact with each other. So like if you think about it from a physical standpoint, the earth and where the earth and the water meet, they touch each other. So there's kind of a relationship. The earth kind of stops the water, right? That's kind of how I understood it.
Yeah. So they do interact, and then in Ayurveda, a practitioner would acknowledge that the five elements sort of form together and do certain operations in the body or certain processes, which we call doshas. So they create harm and cause imbalance or symptoms. And when they're not supplied with the things that sort of push them over the edge, they perform processes of normalcy. So they create health.
So how many doshas are there?
There are three doshas, vata, pitta, and kapha, and they are composed of the elements. So vata is composed of space and air, and pitta is composed of fire and actually water, the two together.
That's me.
Me as well. And kapha is composed of water and earth. So we see water in both pitta and kapha.
So in Ayurvedics, how do we keep our water element strong?
That's a great question. So we have to look primarily at the doshas. So you're talking about keeping kapha strong. Kapha is the structure and lubrication of the body. It forms the water aspects of us, like the fluid in our joints, our tears, the saliva in our mouths, and also the structural aspects of us, our muscle, our bones. Those are components of kapha. And
So saying that means then we're each a little bit of all three.
that's
Doshas.
correct.
Yeah.
That's
We're-
correct.
There's nobody that's only kapha, because then you'd just be bones and muscles.
That's
well,
correct.
and even if you think about your tears, they are liquid, but they have other elements in them as well, as does the blood,
Yes, that's correct.
the fluids of the joint.
Yes.
They contain their moisture, but they contain other elements.
That's correct. Yes, and
So that's why it's all connected.
yeah, and even going back to the five elements themselves, Ayurveda understands that those individual elements contain the other
Right.
four as well.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
It is cool, yeah.
But then that was what we learned and talked about a little bit, where water and fire don't really mix very well. They kind of negate each other, right?
They can, but then I mean you have things like hot water, so
Deep thoughts.
they work together as well.
Interesting.
Yes.
So I misunderstood. Oh, that's good to
Well,
know.
and sometimes you need a little water to not put the fire out, but minimize it to
Mhm.
create steam.
Mhm.
So,
And that's energy. Steam
And
is
that's
a form of
energy.
energy.
Mhm.
and
Sorry,
it's
that's a deep
moisture,
thought.
water.
Mhm.
Just like, there's evaporation, but where does it go? To the clouds. So the clouds would be space. Air.
Yeah.
So that, even in looking at nature, as I do so often in earth medicine, you have all the elements there too. And we can connect with those. I have people who have a hard time like getting up, getting going. I have them just visualize their favorite body of natural water and the flowing of a river, and just that in of itself will connect them to that water element to get the fluids moving, and so that they can go ahead with their yoga or their tai chi. There are ways that we can bring that element in energetically as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. So balancing the water element would be, managing kapha, managing weight and heaviness in the body, and of course we have sweat. We sweat, so we release water that way, and we urinate, so we release
Right.
water that way. So we have sort of a management system in the body as well. And when something's going wrong with those, something's not right, there's excessive sweating or something doesn't look right in the urine, that's a good time to see the doctor and follow up with an Ayurvedic practitioner to see what changes can be made.
Interesting.
Very cool.
So what are some water management systems, like you just said, in the body? That's just crying and urination, then? That's the water management system?
Sweating as
Sweating.
well.
Sweating,
Sure.
those three.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's called the water management system?
That's what I'm calling
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah. It's an interpretation of
Gotcha.
how the body is releasing water.
And then the way that we take it in is by drinking. But then again, I've got really curly hair, humid summer days. My hair's picking up the the water as
Yeah.
well. That was random.
But it's the water element.
But it is
so-
the water element. So the thing that's really cool about yoga and Ayurveda is that it's all very it's all about bringing balance, right? And then we have to balance where we are in life with the practice, whether it's the yoga practice in Ayurveda. So for example, in the wintertime when it's really cold, I have a really hard time practicing early in the morning because I am so stinking cold. It hurts, like everything hurts, and I can't wait till I'm like 75 trying to get up. And so I'm assuming there's differences in how we practice some of the Ayurvedic techniques and for seasons, right?
Yes.
Well, because the season, winter, is associated with the water element, and so is yin yoga. So we bring
which is practiced cold, guys.
Which is practiced cold. Why don't they have hot yin?
Because if it's a hot yin class, then your muscle fibers are going to be the ones that are getting stretched. So you'll find warm yin classes, and that'd be like the one that I'd like to take because I hate being in yin classes. They're so cold. But that's not actually providing the flexibility in the connective tissue, which is what yin is working on. Yin's trying to stretch the connective tissue. And there's a training coming up the first weekend of December with Dawn. We'll be doing our 200-hour module for the yin. So if you are interested in learning more about yin, way to segue into that.
Definitely be there.
That is the first week of December. Yeah. Well, you're on a roll helping me to remember all these events, Merritt. Thank you. But that being said, I mean, there's also, even in the Western world, there's this push to eat seasonally.
Yes.
So, in the winter, we're eating like denser foods.
Right.
To me, they're denser because it's like those big squashes. Like those soups are no longer light and kind of brothy. They're more like dense, heavy soups.
But they have water in them.
They do. But is there a seasonal component to Ayurveda and a seasonal component to diet? And where does the water fit into that?
Yes, so Ayurveda is definitely seasonal and acknowledges that these changes that are happening outside of us also are having an effect on us inside. So in winter, it's the perfect time to build the body up. It's a great time for exercise. Actually, the opposite of summer, when we typically think, oh, it's time to get out and exercise. According to Ayurveda, that's the wrong thing to do. Summer is time to sort of lay low, because the sun is so strong during that time, it has a weakening effect on the body. So it's time to relax, stay cool, and don't push yourself too hard.
I subscribe to that. By the water, preferably.
Yeah.
Because I love to hibernate in the winter, and I find I have to really work to want to exercise. And I'm better about coming to yoga in the winter.
Yep.
So is almost everybody else. Everybody's like, it's cold and it's wet, I'm coming to the studio.
Yeah.
And the summer, especially here in Chattanooga, they're like, we'll see you in the fall.
Yeah.
Right.
After football season.
Yep. Yeah. So a winter is just perfect for building muscle, for working. It's the best time to work out. So
well, for our 90-day challenge, I'll shift that around then.
And it's kind of started right there when winter was starting, our 90 days challenge. And again, just to remind everybody, the 90 days challenge, at least with the Thrive take on it, it wasn't just about losing weight, because I'm not going to diet. I'm going to put that out there. I don't like focusing on dieting and what I can't have. I like to focus on what I can have. And so the last 90 days challenge was all about crowding in all of the things that are going to fill us up and make us better. So for me, it was activity, because I love to be active. Actually, one of my 90-day goals was to disconnect, so not have any activity for about an hour every day before bed. I'm close to 80% on that too, which is a huge deal. Anyways, so don't think about it as diets or things like that. It's just about honoring you and filling you up.
Lifestyle and wellness and things that make us strong and healthy and accountable to our own well-being.
And Ayurveda can do that, because it can suggest things, like you had said, you're going to look at people's sleep habits and their diets. And so rather than just saying, oh, none of this, you can suggest things that they can have, correct?
That's true. Oftentimes there are contributing causes to symptoms. So sometimes we do need to say, okay, that's not helpful to you, or that could be contributing to your condition. So you need to, stop that, see if it helps. And usually, these are always temporary things. So you may need to stop something for a while until your body has some more strength to it. Your digestion becomes stronger, and you can handle certain things at different times. So,
and it also has those nourishing options to replace those things that we crave.
That's correct.
To help us, because when our body, I know enough about Ayurvedics to be stupid, but I totally believe in the system. I'm so happy to know somebody I can refer people to, because it builds your body, it builds your strength, and once your body feels good, you're just naturally drawn
That's right.
to these things.
You're naturally drawn
as
to the
if
right
a
thing.
river flowing.
Yes.
Nice segue there. That's funny because I practice with Manju, who's in India, and I'm not going to say he's like all Ayurveda. He mentioned some Ayurvedic practices, but something that he always says is he never tells anybody what to eat. He's like, he never says you can't smoke. He never says you can't eat. You'll never hear me saying, other than, maybe don't eat roadkill.
Right.
He's like, you don't tell anybody. The practice will change them. And it's
Exactly.
true. It's
Very
true.
true.
The daily practice, you coming back to yourself every single day, you're going to notice, oh man, I feel really heavy today. I don't want to eat that.
Right.
And it might click with some people right away, but then there's people like me 10 years later where I see that direct connection. I'm like, okay, maybe I don't do it. And it has modified my diet. But curiously, and this is not water element, but I'm just so excited to have you. The thing with Ayurveda that was shocking is there are things where they suggest you eating meat. If there were imbalances, because that was something I wanted to ask you about, like signs of imbalance, a water imbalance, if you will. And one of them was like too much meat or not enough meat. And I thought that was interesting because I thought most Indians were vegetarians.
I think a lot of Indians are vegetarians. However, Ayurveda does not exclude anything from possible therapeutics. So every substance on the earth has potential therapeutic uses. So that's why meat is included, and it's written about in the Ayurvedic texts in detail about which type of meat does what for the body. And so we know that certain meats are beneficial for certain conditions, and certain meats are beneficial for others.
Wow. So what are some signs of, let's do the positive first, a well-balanced water system for a human, and then an imbalance?
Sure. So you want to look at kapha. So signs of water and a healthy state of kapha. You're alert in the morning, ready to get out of bed.
And that's why I do that visualization with people who have a hard time. They're sluggish in the morning.
The morning is kapha time. So if you wake up and you're ready to go, your kapha's probably in good shape. And that is also going to be different for everybody, because we all have different proportions of kapha.
I want the 10-minute thing. Maybe I can run over here Friday.
You'll have to.
Yeah.
You'll have to. Yeah, so maybe before I had kids, I had a really good balance, because I still, when I'm up, but
Well, and
it's a
as
lot
we
harder to
age,
wake
if
up.
you think about it, our water in our body, it doesn't dry up, but you get drier. And because water flows down in the body, we need that circulation to get the water moving up. I know this is a total Ayurvedics. I have different studies, but
Sure.
so I lost my train of thought.
We're talking about, it's for me in particular, my water must be out of balance, because I'm like, oh God, the kids are up again.
But as we age, the water in our body our skin gets drier. We lose like some of the
elasticity
and the plumpness of ourselves as we age, and that's all connected to water.
Sorry.
That's
So an imbalance then would be obviously dehydration, and maybe
Yes.
even constipation, because isn't some of that like eliminate, but then and also an imbalance would be diarrhea too, right?
Yes.
We've all been sick like that,
Yeah.
or
Right.
lack of sweating, an inability to sweat, or over sweating. What is it?
Excessive.
Yeah. But are there other more subtle things that you can see that maybe, because if you saw me in 10 minutes and you're like, oh, and you ask me, how do you wake up in the morning? I'd be like, yeah, I mean, given the fact that I've got 2 kids, I'm doing pretty good. But what are more subtle signs?
More subtle signs of kapha problems.
or good things, not just to talk about bad things.
Yeah. So the way that the tissues are formed is a good indicator of healthy kapha. Healthy kapha is strong, well-developed muscles and fat on the body in the right places. So we all want that.
That's right. Sorry, got a giggle right there. Light bulb cartoon.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And seeing marks on your skin from where your socks are, or if you've had something tight around your wrist, and you take it away and you see the mark, the impression is still there. That's a sign that the tissues could be better developed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
It's
taking.
a very interesting practice. I think everyone needs to come and get
And
10
talk with
minutes.
Jennifer on
Yes.
Friday.
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming that since this is a 4,000-year-old practice, how easy is it for you to study this? Or how hard it is?
It's hard. It's intense. We read the ancient texts. They're written in Sanskrit with a transliteration, and then also there's an English, and there's actually they're available online, these texts as well. So you can Google and find them online as well.
I tried to study Ayurvedics because I thought it might be a direction I wanted to go in. And that's when I decided to refer others to it, because I like to do trainings every year, but it's very involved and it's fascinating.
It is, yeah.
But I didn't feel like I wanted to go in a whole different direction. So, but it's a really fascinating, beautiful practice.
It is beautiful. Yeah, the language is beautiful too, and so you have to learn a little bit of Sanskrit as well to get yourself through
And we
it,
love
all the
Sanskrit.
terminology.
Speaking of Sanskrit, and I love how I'm the plugger of all things, we are starting a 300-hour program here at Thrive Yoga and Wellness. It'll start this coming 2020, and part of that program we will be bringing in a friend of mine works with the American Sanskrit Institute, so we'll have the opportunity for that. But as well, it's starting the second week of January, the second Sunday. I think that's the 12th.
Yes, that's correct.
On the 12th, if you are interested in learning more about Ayurveda, Jennifer is going to be joining us for a workshop that is also included in the 200-hour training. So folks, we still have some space. And if you're interested in learning how to become a yoga teacher, definitely go ahead and sign up now. But as part of that training, and we're going to open it up to the rest of the studio and anybody else that wants to come in, you can join us on January 12th, where Jennifer will do an introduction to Ayurveda. So what are things that we might cover?
So we'll look at the seasons more in depth, and we'll look at the doshas. We'll look at signs of they refer to it as vitiation of the doshas. So signs that the doshas are not behaving properly, and how to determine what one's own constitution is, one's own proportion of doshas.
Because we have all three of them in us, but there's one that's going to be the strongest one that exhibits itself the most.
There could be one, there could be three. They could be equally balanced. It's rare, but that's possible. And there could be two leading doshas. There could be one leading dosha.
This is random, and you can say that you don't know the answer to this, but are there doshas that just don't like each other? Opposite? Because I imagine kapha is so heavy, and vata, the vata folks that I know, they're out here floating and on kites,
Yeah.
And so I imagine those two, you rarely see kapha vata.
You do see kapha vata or vata kapha, and they can be difficult to manage. There's certain constitutions that are understood as excellent and easy to manage, easy for somebody to get through life with, and there are certain ones that are considered more difficult. Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, so that's a slippery slope. That might be for another conversation.
Yep.
So, and then the following week, which would be the 19th, January 19th, we are actually going to dive a little bit deeper. Jennifer's going to come back, and again, that's going to be open for you guys if you want to watch, and it's included in your 200-hour training. If you want to sign up, and that we will be covering winter weight management the Ayurvedic way,
Yes,
correct?
Yeah, definitely. So we'll talk about how winter is affecting us, how it's affecting our digestion, and what we need to do to make the best of winter: exercise and weightlift, and do yoga, and what we need to eat to make the best of winter without going overboard.
Interesting. So winter is a great time for you guys to sign up for the teacher training. And even better, you get to learn a little bit more about Ayurveda when you do it this coming semester. And Jennifer's going to be a part of our 300 hour as well. And if I can get myself in gear, the 300 hour, we'll include this as part of the 300 hour training as well. We'll just go a little bit deeper with our deeper studies. And so that is coming up in January. But before we get off here, everybody remember on Friday, 11/29, Black Friday. Black Friday, we have our very first Black Friday open house where we are going to have a studio full of the coolest natural healers and natural body wellness people on the planet, as far as I'm concerned. They're all going to be converging right here inside of Thrive Yoga and Wellness. You can come in. It's a completely free event to come check us out. You can get samples of some CBD products. You can learn about how to stay safe around the holidays. And then you can come into our big room and experience natural healing through Ayurveda with the 10-minute consultation with Jennifer. You get a roughing consultation if you'd like, Reiki, fire cupping, health screenings, and injury screenings, and brow bar with Sunita. So guys, it's going to be fun. It's the best thing to do after you've spent the morning shopping, then come back here and practice, because we also have...
you can also shop here. We have some beautiful yoga clothes and jewelry. So check us out before you...
That's right. We will be open at 9:30, and so you go to all the stores before God wakes up. I shouldn't say that, but there is an ungodly hour. And that is when most people are out shopping for Black Friday.
And come here for healing gifts.
Then, yes. And then adding to that, we just found out, so on Friday we will be able to start carrying some new Ayurvedic body care products, which I'm super pumped about. Yeah. I have been trying a Ayurvedic face oil that Jennifer was kind enough to share with me, I guess about a month ago. And I've been using it in the mornings because it's a skin brightener. Although I'm not going to lie, every now and then I forget to wash my face in the morning, so it goes on at night, so I'm extra bright at night. That stuff smells amazing, I put it on, and both of my kids are like, "Mommy, what's that? It smells good." So I've been putting a little bit of, because on their little chunky cheeks, This stuff is awesome. You're gonna love it. It is. What is the name of the brand?
Ayura. It's Ayura's Kesarati oil.
Ayura Kesarati oil. I can't pronounce it, but I can tell you I love it, and it smells amazing. I've been using face oils for like 10 years, and I love to make my own stuff with essential oils, and I love this stuff. It's like exactly, if I could make it, this would be how I do it. So I don't have to make stuff anymore. This is that good. And we're going to have some for you guys on Friday, Black Friday, and we'll start to have it.
And I've used Ayurvedic oil too, not yours, but I plan to get some. And also, we're going to have some Kanza wands. Are we going to do some Kanza wands?
Yeah.
That's great to use on the face with the Ayurvedic oil.
Yes. Yeah,
so
they're really nice.
Tightens and brightens and
and the metal, the Kanza wand actually has a copper cap. It's actually bronze, which is an alloy of copper, and so the copper on the skin actually helps reduce some redness. And it's just soothing, and it's really lovely.
It feels so good. I've borrowed Merritt's before, like especially when my sinuses were giving me grief, and it was amazing. And I've heard you can put it in the freezer too.
It's great for TMJ as well.
Oh, nice.
The Kanza wands.
So we'll have some Kanza wands here at the studio. I will be getting one of my own, so I don't have to steal Merritt's anymore. We'll have the Kesarati oil. Kesarati oil. We're also going to have a body oil, one that helps to treat joint pain. So how cool is that? And all of these are natural Ayurvedic products that you can use on your skin, so you can feel comfortable that everything that's in them, basically, you would be able to pronounce. Like, there's none of these words that you have no idea what that means. And that, as I've gotten older, has become more and more important to me.
Sure.
And so if you're into this natural healing, natural wellness, well-being, come and check us out Friday, Black Friday, November 29th. Yes, we can't wait to see you.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Again, my name is Jennifer Dixon with Thrive Yoga and Wellness, with Jennifer Eddinger with My Ayu.
Yep.
My IU. You can find her at myiu.com.
That's correct.
Or you can come and see her on Friday at our Black Friday event. She's offering 10-minute consultations by donation base where she can help you to maybe achieve a better health. And then you can continue on with your studies and have her help you get into even better health and wellness after Black Friday. And then
I'm Merritt Maloof with the Energy Center and Thrive Yoga and Wellness. Thank you for being with us today.
we're so
Thank you,
excited.
everyone.